You're listening to Miss Style, Strength, and Grace with Deidra Murphy. This is your one-stop shop for style, fashion, health, and fitness. Deidra's passion is to help empower women to reach their fullest potential, both inside and out. Deidra and her guests will be discussing how to develop your style, health, and lifestyle hacks to energize your day and inspire you to keep reaching higher levels of success. Deidra is a professional fashion stylist, health guru, and Mrs. Washington 2017. It's time to get open and honest with Deidra.
Well, hello and welcome to today's podcast. If you have been joining me for more than a hot minute, you know I love to come to my audience both not only on this platform of iTunes with my podcast, but also on Facebook and Instagram Live. I usually do 1 to 2 Facebook or Instagram Lives a week. And what I love to share about these is stories. So usually my Monday night messages are always what I call Mondays in the Mirror or sometimes Monday Motivation. And it's usually some sort of lesson and story from the week prior. And then I give it to you in a way that is not only, quick and effective, but it's a way for me to share the lesson, the life lesson that I've learned in that instance or that story, and share it with you in hopes to inspire you to start taking more actions in your day or to learn from my lessons or my mistakes so that you can create more benefit to others, be on mission, or live with life that is purposeful. So I also share on Wednesdays with usually a Wellness Wednesday just because I love health, fitness, and all things that come back to holistic wellness. Again, that was my platform a long time ago as Mrs. Washington, but it's a platform for my life. So usually I share about something health related on Wednesdays. Well, as we are now in 2019, I had my first Facebook Live of the year the other night on Monday, and I thought it was such an important message. Rather than re-record it in the same story and setting, I just thought I'd share with you tonight from that live video. So keep in mind if I mention something like, oh, look at this or look at that, it's clearly an audio from a video that was live on Facebook, but I still think at the end of the day, the message is tangible and it's something that I not only learned from, but I think others can as well. So I hope you enjoy today's podcast. Hey everybody, Happy New Year. I don't think I've come to you live since 2019 officially started. If I did, I apologize for my mistake, but I don't believe I did. Anyway, we are here live in 2019 from my at-home office, and today I've been working at home. I'm working on some big upcoming launches, so stay tuned for that. But it meant a lot of behind-the-scenes work today online and making sure a certain website was up and running and all the links were working and all that back-end stuff, working with my webmaster, fun things behind the scenes. Anyway, according to my title, right, Monday in the Mirror is what I like to call these episodes. And a little lesson from French toast and me taming my inner B-yotch. And no, I don't mean like Queen Bee, like Beyonce. My inner mean girl was about to rear her ugly head one day last week, so I wanted to share about it and my little lesson. For those of you that don't know, I'm not perfect. Hey, it's flashing news, right? I'm not perfect. I used to be a mean girl. Formerly, I am a recovering mean girl. So in high school, even into a little bit of college, I was kind of that mean girl that you might see on the movie Mean Girls. And I used to say things like, "You can't sit with us." Totally true. But I feel like I've changed. Who hasn't changed since they were in high school and college? I'm not that person anymore. And it was more so that I was trying to put on a facade of being who I thought society wanted me to be, being that inner mean girl. Anyway, so back to the lesson of tonight from Lessons from French Toast. If you know anything about me, you know that breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. And I don't get to eat like a big breakfast that often because typically I'm rushed for time in the mornings. I usually do a smoothie because it's quick. I can get my protein, my good fats, and get ready on the day. On the weekends, I like to make my husband and I my protein banana pancakes, but every once in a while, I like to splurge. Bringing me to my subject of today, French toast and calming my inner B-yotch. So last week, I believe it was on New Year's Day, my husband and I went to brunch. And I had been looking forward to this brunch at one of my favorite restaurants in town. It's actually a Northwest-based restaurant called Anthony's. I have been looking forward to this brunch for like a week because I knew what I was gonna get. I was like, it's gonna be New Year's. I'm gonna get the creme brulee French toast. I've never had it. Every time I've gone to this restaurant when they serve brunch, they've sold out of the French toast. Side note, partially because I'm not a morning person, so by the time we get to brunch, it'd be about noon. I'm not an early morning riser, especially on the weekends. And by then they would be kind of sold out. And I've ordered other things, you know, their scrambles are delicious, their waffles really good. And again, I don't eat that way normally or on a regular basis, but when it's a holiday and it's like that one-off type of thing, I'm like, yes, I'm going all in. So I've been looking forward to this because 3 times in a row, the last 3 times in 2018 that I have gone to Anthony's for their brunch, they have been sold out of the French toast. So I've never experienced it. I've read the description, I've seen the pictures. It's described as this creme brulee French toast. It's not your typical French toast with this caramelized outside, all the yummy things. And I have been looking forward to this. So my husband and I get to Anthony's, we make our reservation, we get there, we sit down, get our booth, I use the restroom, I come back, we put in our order, and the server asks, what can I get you? I'm like, I know immediately, I want my French toast. That's it, I'm done. She's like, okay. So takes my husband's order, puts it in, comes back about 5 minutes later, I've already got my cup of coffee, I'm enjoying that, and I could tell something's wrong. I was like, oh no. No. Please don't tell me that you're sold out of the French toast. I've been looking forward to this for like a week. Please don't do this. And she comes up and she says, I'm so sorry, but I have to tell you, we are sold out of the French toast. What else can I get you? I just stopped. I didn't say anything. I was like, what? Is this really happening right now? I even asked her right then and there, I said, did he put you up to this? Pointing at my husband, because he thought it would be funny. Let's pull a little prank on Deidra and pretend that her French toast is sold out for yet the 3rd time in a row. I was like, I was just in the restroom. Maybe he went and found her, told her to tell me that the French toast is sold out just as a joke. Haha, pull one over on Deidra. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, did he really? Did he put you up to this? I was like, babe, it's not that funny, but like, haha. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. We're really sold out of the French toast. And I was like, what? Right then and there, my husband was looking at me like, oh no, is this gonna be a freak out? Like, what's gonna happen? And I was like, are you serious? And she said, yes, it's actually, this is what she told me. She said, I've never seen this happen before. I've never seen the French toast sell out. And I was like, are you serious? Because I've had it sell out on me 3 times now. And the poor girl was flabbergasted, like didn't know what to do. And she's like, well, what else can I get you? The waffle's really good. Our scrambles are really yummy. And I was like, no, I don't want anything. If there's no French toast, I don't want to eat it all. And I started to go down that road of like a little bit of a freak out. And I had to calm myself, pull back, rein in my inner mean girl, because it wasn't the poor server's fault that they had ran out of French toast. And even if she knew in advance, still not her fault. She can't help it. So as I was processing all this, like, okay, what am I gonna order instead? I'm going through my 5 stages of grief over my French toast, like acceptance. First was denial, then was acceptance. And I'm like, okay, what am I gonna order next? There comes the manager rushing down the little aisle to the server, and she's like, wait, we have 1 left. And I was like, what? Are you serious? And the server was informed by the manager they were not sold out of the French toast. Praise Jesus, hallelujah. I got my French toast on that day. So it comes, it is life-changing. It was the best French toast I've ever had. Although I wasn't gonna complain about this to the restaurant because I was like, I've already been that girl. I'm not gonna do it. I gotta calm that inner mean girl. Underneath one of my pieces of French toast. There was a green pepper and an onion. Like they had mistakenly started to fill my plate up with some sort of veggie scramble and then realized, oh, that's the wrong order. And then they like took it off, but didn't get all the green peppers and onions. And you couldn't see it because of the way that the French toast was stacked on top of it. So again, I almost had another freak out, not a freak out, but just like, hey, FYI, there's green peppers and onions underneath a couple pieces of toast. And not that it's a big deal, but it is kind of affecting the way that the French toast is tasting. Because if you know onions, they kind of affect everything and the way that it tastes. But I scraped them off to the side and I still enjoyed my wonderful French toast, creme brulee French toast, by the way, from Anthony's. And I just calmed the inner mean girl and enjoyed the rest of the day. We went and saw a movie, a matinee that afternoon, and enjoyed the kind of holiday time together, just one-on-one with my husband. So, brings me to today. Like, what is the message behind all this? And number one, I had to remember, rein in the inner mean girl. At the end of the day, it's freaking French toast. It doesn't matter. Would I have still gotten something else? Yeah. Would I have been a little disappointed? Yeah. But you know what? I could have spun it in a positive direction and just said, hey, that means I gotta go to Anthony's for a different day at brunch. Oh darn, like what a bummer, right? So that was lesson number one. Rein in the inner mean girl. It's not a big deal. Number two, don't take it out on somebody that can't have control over it. The server, she's not the one in the back making the bread, making sure there's enough to go out. She's just trying to take in the orders, put them in the computer, send them out to the tables as fast as she can. It wouldn't have been her fault, so it would have been completely unbased for me to take out any sort of reaction onto her, which thankfully I didn't. And lesson number three, I think is just enjoy life and go with the flow. I'm usually a go with the flow person, but I think sometimes when we set up ourselves in anticipation so much that we're like, I can't see any other outcome other than this happening, and then something different happens, then we're really disappointed. And that's okay to feel disappointed, but just take it with a grain of humiliation and grace for others, grace for yourself, and move on with life if something doesn't happen the way that you want. That's always my motto, right? Like style and grace, and then even bringing in the pageantry motto that we always got told going through any sort of pageant system, flexible and gracious. So even if things don't go as expected, be flexible, be gracious, do your best. So that is my message to you tonight about French toast and me calming my inner mean girl, B-yotch. So hopefully you learned something from that too. I know I always love to share just little inspirations from random happenings, whether it's lessons from a French toast or lessons from a 7-year-old when I was reading at the Children's Reading Foundation, whatever it is. So as you start your week in 2019, this is the first full week of 2019, I hope that you take it to the most, live to your fullest, and start dreaming those big dreams. With that, I love you all. Have a great night. Mwah!
Hey ladies, thanks for listening, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode. To help empower more women, please be a doll and rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. For show notes and other free resources we mentioned today, go to stylebydeidra.com.